Michael Bian. Hola. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you for taking some time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you for inviting.
Michael, I'm really interested to get a take on your journey getting into the management rights industry. You're probably the most qualified person in the room. You are actually a doctor by trade, and you had a bit of a career change. Can you talk us through that?
Well, that's my past life. So, I've done medical research and clinical trials, medical affairs. Yeah, through a different part of the medical arena. But I think I've always been, so management right has always been a side hustle because me and my wife started business from 2012, and we had our first management right in a townhouse complex in Norman Park from 2012, and she's been mainly dealing with the day-to-day operations of that business, and I've been on the side helping her throughout the first probably 10 years, and I fully quit my medical career and come back and join the family business from 2022. And since then, our goal was to expand and grow. So now we have 4 apartment complexes, 2 in Milton, 1 in Paddington, and 1 in Tenerife. And the one in Tenerife is again a new field that we experimented from 2022, and because that's a short term. So all the other 3 complexes, they're permanent letting, the usual management right, but the last one is a short-term letting. And we've experienced the strong recovery of Brisbane's tourist market and the corporate travellers come back into travelling. So we've been experiencing a very strong growth in the short-term letting field.
Yeah, well, that's very interesting. You're obviously able to provide some insights on both the permanent side and the short-term side of management rights. What do you think, in your opinion, are the benefits to lot owners of management rights? And you can answer that question: owner-occupiers, tenants, short investors. Over the alternative, what benefits does management rights offer lot owners?
Well, I think the biggest benefit is the return. Good return from their investments. So I think a lot of the lot owners, they put their units, apartments, or townhouses into the management pool in order to get a rental return. And I think with the growth in the recent years in the rental market, all the lot owners are very happy with the rental returns. And that's one part of the business. And the other part is the caretaking. And the lot owner want to see that, their property has been well looked after, the complex is well maintained, and there is a good and strong relationship between the management and the body corporate going forward. I think all of these are very, very important elements from a lot owner.
What about the short-term side of it? Obviously, the Queensland tourism industry has grown a lot with management rights, having on-site managers being able to manage those short-stay units. What's the alternative? Like, if management rights wasn't there, how would owners be renting their units out? And what are the benefits that management rights offers?
Well, I think particularly in short-term lettings, rental return is the very important factor, and that's why some of the owners want to put their apartment or their units into short-term, because there's a stronger and better rental return than permanent, the traditional permanent lettings with a lease. And the other side of that short-term is the flexibility. So some of the owners want to use the apartment themselves when they can, but with a fixed-term tenancy, they wouldn't be able to use their own apartments or units.
And I guess with management rights being on site, being vested in the building, if a unit owner does want to put their unit in the short-term pool, it's a lot better than going with Airbnb, right? Because you've got someone on site, and there's advantages that you'll offer over Airbnb.
There are increasing regulations for Airbnbs, and the councils are putting a lot of regulations around that, especially requiring a new permit for the Airbnb operators, because number one, the Airbnb operator is not on site. They don't have multiple units in the particular complex. They have all their properties scattered around. And the second challenge for Airbnb is the housekeeping. So you can't control the quality of the housekeeping consistently. Yep. So with the on-site managers, when we're managing a short-term rental, multiple 40 to up to 100 units in one complex, we have a very good housekeeping team to make sure the quality of service is consistent. The the upkeeping of the property is and the maintenance of the property is on a high standard.
I guess being on site, you're a much better place to monitor the quality of the guests and their behaviour when they're there.
Of course, yes. So I know traditionally when you're renting out through a tenancy lease, you can also check the credit history of the tenants. But with short-term letting, you don't sort of have that control, but you can also sort of selecting your guests by either go through the good quality OTA, online travel agencies, and have that pricing as a good gauging tool to control what sort of guests you bring into the properties.
So, Michael, you're aware that obviously ResortBrokers started their research department a few years ago. We've started putting out the Management Rights Report 2022. Fourth edition's about to come out, and we look forward to seeing you at the launch party. You're familiar with the publication. Have you found that useful for your understanding of the industry?
Yeah, of course. I've read the reports before, and I'm looking forward to the fourth edition to come out. I think that report is particularly useful for managers like myself. So because it shows the trends, shows the growth, shows the how the market responding, and shows the development opportunities. I think there are a lot of information from that report, and so I'm a very data-driven person. So I like to see the data. I like to see the trends. So I think that's a useful piece of information for me.
Where do you see, you obviously started in permanent, you're kind of venturing to short-term now. Where do you see the opportunities in the industry over the next 5 years? What have you got your sights on? Where do you see the smart investment going?
Well, obviously there's still a rental shortage in Brisbane, and I'm hopeful that the government and will put more investment into build to rent sort of developments, and also there are a lot more developers hopefully building new apartments or new properties for the rental market. But particularly for myself, I'm still very hopeful for the short term market, because there are so many positive news coming out for the tourism market, especially with the Olympics coming up in 6 or 7 years time. I'm still very hopeful for the short term market to grow and grow bigger and further.
And that's the area of the.
That's where my interests are. Yeah,
you'd like to expand into. Yeah. So you've obviously worked with ResortBrokers in the past on transactions. What's been your experience of working with ResortBrokers?
Positive, and I think ResortBroker is a very professional team of brokers, and if not dominating the market now, I think everybody, if anybody who want to buy or sell, and think a ResortBroker is the first choice.
Michael, thank you so much for taking the time to come and see us. It's been a pleasure to talk to you as always. Have a fantastic day.
Pleasure is mine too. Thank you very much.